Let's get to building. The 3 farms are pretty much now up. Darielle is just finishing off the last one for us. And I've managed to make the 15 fields that they'll be using. Emmeline is finishing up the very first house for the hub, and Holland is working on repairing a plantation. So far, so good, but we have a lot to get through here today, so I guess I should probably help them out a bit. The open request system is basically just full of paper and book requests for our students in the library, as well as ingredient requests from the cookery, which we've had to upgrade to level 5, because it can only craft the silver and gold tier meals at higher hut levels now. And we have far too much to do, so can't afford to sit around waiting on meals to never be prepared. There's that new house now built. I'll assign the idiots around here to live in it so that they don't complain about travelling too far. Yeah, looks kinda cozy in here actually. That was Emmeline finishing that off for us, and by the looks of it, she's picked up yet another house to get on with, which is absolutely fine, although which house and where? Well, we'll just need to wait and find out. The third and final farm is now at 60% completion. Darielle is working on it, so I reckon it won't take him too long to finish it off. Then we'll assign another farmer to it and get them coming out to start taking care of all of these fields. Try get some of these requests down a bit, although to be fair, those are requests for the farmer across the way, which I should be assisting, going around and collecting ingredients so that she can grow them. But can't be arsed. The plantation is far more important. It is 60% done. I think it's about 60% done. This don't look right. I assume she's going to remove all of the grass blocks once she's built up the hut. Other than that, I don't know what's going on with this build, nor do I care. It's definitely gonna be one of those days. A lazy day. Fast forwarding a bit, and that's the plantation up and cleared. So we can actually have a planter in it, working as intended. This one is going to grow as nether plants actually, so we'll need to get these fields constructed a lot sooner than later. But the time passed so far, which will only be a few minutes for you guys, has already been over 2 hours for me, so getting this entire hub constructed is certainly going to take forever, or would have taken forever. I have a plan. An idea that's probably not going to work, but we'll certainly try anyway. More builders. Lots more builders. They don't have storage racks though, so I don't know if they can take in a lot of building materials. That's a them problem to solve, however. All we care about is getting these buildings up and working. So I think we're now up to 11 level 5 builders within the colony, 3 permanent builders and 8 new temporary ones. And I foresee this getting incredibly confusing very quickly here. Let's link up all of these resource scrolls, and now we can see exactly what all of these new idiots are going to be doing for us. Mainly fields, to be fair. Holland is creating yet another plantation, and Sullivan is creating a sugarcane field for the plantation, which is still to be built. I would prefer you doing the nether stuff, but anything will help at this point. Tate, what are you doing at the moment? Of course, you're the first scroll. You are doing the cactus plantation field, and the open request system has exploded. More work for me to do, unfortunately. And also Plum, just in case you didn't notice, Saul has got a little witch's hat on. For everyone else, here's the reference. We've got some requests in for Podzol and Mycelium. Podzol, the composter, could make for us, but we need that building back up first. And knowing that request actually, that may be for the composter. That's alright, I'll just simply grab up a few blocks of it here myself. Mycelia, on the other hand, where did we find Muriel from? Jackpot. Although this probably isn't the isle we found him from. The world has certainly changed since we first entered it. Regardless though, we have our mycelium. And no spore infestation around here either, which is kind of nice. Not getting attacked every 2 seconds by zombies, definitely a bonus. Also, you two, follow me. I've got some extended family to introduce you to. We'll get all of these guys over into the Agricultural Hub once it's finished, which with the sheer amount of builders that we have, will hopefully be a lot sooner than later. So is anyone doing anything exciting that isn't just fields? Rachel is repairing or building a composter's hut. That's not really interesting, but definitely required. Which one is she doing? The one on the hill here. That's absolutely fine. I will help you clear it out. Scarlett is constructing our flower shop, but is awaiting in on some sea lanterns for it, which she shouldn't be because the old flower shop should have been recycled, and the sea lanterns should be within the warehouse's storage, which they're not. What about prismarine then? Okay, crystal shards. Yeah, the builders don't have silk touch, so that's maybe an issue. Nah, no issue actually. There's a monument somewhere around here, which we'll simply cheese and grab some sea lanterns that way, with any luck before we get the debuff. And we got the debuff, and I'm also getting my arse kicked. This may take a few attempts. I don't really want to talk about that, but we did get the sea lanterns at least. Now straight back to the grind. Oh, and someone is constructing the apiary. I assume it's this genius here who has managed to get herself stuck inside of one of the bee nests. Absolutely spot on. I'll leave her to it. We have a builder called Yale who is constructing our swine herder's hut. No, they're not. They're constructing the cowhand's hut. The cowhand's hut here. So once I see what they're going to require, they'll probably do that, or get stuck in a beehive, whatever they want to do. You are just awaiting in on some dirt. That's something I can do actually. So far we aren't having much trouble with their storage, and these idiots are doing an okay job. Holland is constructing this plantation here, but I've noticed that it's coming up as plantation 0. It should be saying plantation 5. Something has gone wrong with that build there. Yeah, the plantation that we have just across from it is saying plantation 5. So this one here will be built up as a level 5 build. The one across the way, a level 1 build. And also, is that a guard who isn't called Jim? This colony is falling apart quicker than I can save it here. They are looking for blackstone and rabbit hide now, items which I know we do not have. So it's quickly into the nether to scout for blackstone. A bastion, yeah, that'll do. And our first smithing template as well, don't mind if I do. Next, rabbit hide, which I swear rabbits spawn in tigers. Well, we maybe got a bit unlucky there, but there are definitely rabbits within the desert. I believe Saul has the mob retrieval talent, so if I tell you to go retrieve that rabbit there, will you go do so? Maybe the rabbits don't count as mobs. Well, I know Eclipse is a hunter dog, and they should attack anything that I tell them to tactically. Where did the rabbits go? There's a baby rabbit right there, but it won't drop as anything. And I think that is a real rabbit. Okay, so go try get that one over there if I can hit it. Go get that one. Saul, that was you. Well, okay, there's our rabbit hide. So the rabbit hide was for Tate, who is constructing our rabbit hutch, and the black stone was for Sienna, who is constructing our nether-based plantations. In fact, it's Sienna and and Sullivan who are doing that, so we'll get the 3 of these up here pretty quick, I reckon. Dariel seems to be out here constructing another plantation to level 5 at the moment. This one is actually becoming level 5, whereas the one over here is only at level 1, as I thought it might be. Not entirely sure what's gone wrong with this schematic, but regardless, we will upgrade it and get a worker into it. Oh, and there's another house already made. That was bloody quick, holy crap. Rhett is now building our fisher. So whilst he gets on with that, we're going to look into making a wall. Not a fancy wall, or one as big as that, but one wide enough and tall enough to separate the 2 areas, just to keep the nasties out during thunderstorms. I think we'll make the wall out of glass so that we can still see through it. I think I'm happy with the placement there, so oof, 1,000 glass. Scarlett, how are we getting on with the flower shop? Have you managed to get yourself stuck in a build? Yes you have. Yeah, that's a few of them stood around here at the moment, just waiting in on deliveries. The courier system really is getting tested here today. Whilst the colony sorts all of them out with building materials, I'm going to go around and use a little trick that I've picked up from The Sims. Going around the edges of all of these builds and filling them with coarse dirt to give the impression of disturbed ground from building on top of it. My lackluster attempt at decoration. I'll texture it better as we go along. There are some of those nether plantation fields now complete, and already they're looking pretty awesome. So this one here is going to grow crimson fungi, the one here warped fungi, and I've no idea what this last one is going to make unless someone picks it up. Oh well, thank you Sullivan. Warped vines. Do we have a worker in here? Yes, we have Fallon. And what are you doing at the moment? A bamboo, sugarcane and cacti. Nope. Let's see if we can get you moving on to these ones there. Oh yeah, research. Right, okay then, let's just do automatic again. You do whatever you wish. Sienna has picked up a seagrass plantation field. Oh, interesting. Well, semi-interesting. These are the 3 plantation fields for the plantation just behind it. Alrighty then, Holland, what are you working on at the moment? The chicken farmer's hut. I mean, fine. Just waiting in on deliveries then, I guess. I'll leave you to it. Yale is constructing the cowhand's hut and is now 70% done with it. Oh, scratch that actually. 69% done with it. But he's doing a pretty good job of this. We'll move Murio and his family over to this after it's up, which has reminded me that I do need to go around the perimeter of this thing, just installing some more fences as a secondary protection pen, just to stop all of these animals from escaping and invading the rest of the colony. Enough of bloody chickens already. The Agricultural Hub is certainly starting to flesh out a bit better now with all of these builders. And sweet, there's the flower shop back repaired, as well as the apiary. Let's assign a few beehives then for the beekeeper. Man, this takes me back to the early days of going around the entire colony, placing in spruce fences, and we'll be using scaffolding to take us up and into the pen, which will give us access in and out, but won't allow the animals to escape. We now have in a lot of coral block requests from Scarlett, but that's absolutely fine because we have this coral reef fairly close to that mushroom isle. So we'll start growing those back at the colony as well. The composter on the hill has literally just been repaired by Rachel. Perfect, and Scarlett has finished the sea pickle field. I think what I'll do is get Rachel moving on to start the construction of the second composter's hut, which is this one here inside of the taiga, if I could find the block for it. She's picked up the wall decoration we've made. Okay, that's a bit more important. 1,000 pieces of glass. The glassblower is certainly going to be busy. Tate has finished whatever he was doing and doesn't have a job request at the moment. That is either a good or a bad thing here. Good, because it means we don't have any more buildings to construct, which it certainly isn't that. So it must be the bad thing then. It means we have a lazy arse, which isn't me for once. Right, how are we getting on over here? I see a plantation field growing a seagrass, and Dariel is constructing another one. He's doing the kelp field, which is absolutely fine. And I believe this is the sea pickle field, indeed it is. Awesome, so all we now need is the plantation behind it to be constructed. We really can't have all that much left to build. These builders have been superb today. They are getting things up incredibly quickly for us. But then again, that's level 5 for you. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, all that we have left is the forester, one more plantation, the second composter, another house, the glass wall, a couple more plantation fields, the shepherd, swineherder, and chicken farmer. And that should be it. So whilst they do all of that, I'm going to go take a well-deserved break. Well, that really wasn't much of a break, seeing as Sienna needs moss blocks for a build. But I mean, whilst we're here, I'm proud to report that the hub is more or less now finished. I've decorated it slightly, put some texture blocks in, and really done up the nether plantation. Quite proud of this one actually. I think I'll also make over the hut itself with some nether materials too, when I gather some nether supplies later. I'm also going to build some infrastructure around too. I just need to decide what materials to use as the roads. We'll get more decorations scattered around, some trees, probably more spruce, just to make this place look a bit busier. Oh, I also found this stable over at the other side of the colony, and it had a donkey sat starving in it. So we'll rescue the donkey, and I've built it a new home just outside of the husbandry pen. On the topic of husbandry builds, I found out iridiates were getting stuck and spinning about in the scaffolding entrance, so I've added a separate airlock entrance for them to use too. Gates though, ugh. I've brought Murio and his kin over to freely roam around in the pen, although I think I already see a problem with this. Yep. And I've wrangled most of the other animals to their new respective slaughter homes too. We are just missing rabbits now, which we will get from that desert, and workers too by the looks of it. You've done some great work around here, chaps. But now we'll set you free of your builder shackles. Go become chicken farmers or something equally useless. Speaking of useless, the fisherman seems to be happy with the new corral that we've made for them. I may have gone a bit overboard with the sea coral floor, however. I may have taken some inspiration from the sea pickle field. I don't know if the glass wall is going to protect the fishermen from the sea horrors, however, so I really can't guarantee the fisher's safety. Let's test and see. Nope, they have spawned within the corral, so yeah, that wall has done jack shit. Good fight, the fishermen. And I think that about covers it. The agricultural hub is now established, functional, and looking pretty good, I've got to admit. I mean, a ridiculous amount of time has already been spent on it, so damn right it should look good. Anyway, which area should we rework next?